Hello guys and welcome to a new Defenders of Texel online alpha video. Today is the first day of the new event featuring Loth and a few of these other characters. They were in the original game, but this is the first time excuse me, that they're being presented in the alpha version. So Derp, one of my favorite characters from the original game. I got lucky enough to find one, um, and he was amazing with super fuses. But I'd recommend that you get a line of them. It is kind of a lot to ask for, but he's pretty solid in terms of being preempt all adept, having high speed. Um, Even though his attack is low, you can put premium attack fodder onto him, and you should be good. Something I wanted to get into in this video was talking about edge and edge bonuses, as well as super fusions. So I'm gonna start off with this guy, Elo. He's introduced or reran in the last event and the last PvP event, um, and usually he sucks. But now with the 170% edge boost, he's not even fully leveled right here. He still has a few more levels to go. But he already has over 7,000 wisdom and 6,000 speed. So that's some serious stats for a guru. So that's why I decided to pick him up. Usually with no edge bonus, he's worthless. And he still is in the market worthless as well. But I saw an opportunity since the last event ended to pick him up, and I was fortunate enough to get two 5 out of 5s, and they're mostly leveled up. Um, so I'm happy. But the dungeons are getting a lot harder, so I would try and level him up. And with that being said, I wanted to see how super fusions also work um, with this character and how they stack. So I wanted to look into that. I bought a cheap 5 out of 5. I'm only gonna put a couple hundred um, stats into him, but I want to see how that stacks up. So I went on the online Defenders of Texel wiki to type in Elos. You guys can get an exact stat chart on his actual statistics. His agility caps out at 4,000. His wisdom caps out at 4,300. His cooldown is still 0 on level elite. But with the edge bonus, we can see that the major differences already, from 4,000 to 7,000. Um, so that's a really really good boost in wisdom. So now we're back on the home screen. There are other characters that do have edge bonuses that are related to this event, like this guy. The edge bonuses work that I've noticed is 250% for all current characters, and then 170% from the last event. Not all previous events, just specifically the one event from a couple of days ago. So I wanted to point that out as well. So now I've taken down some notes on the stats of this guy that I'm gonna superfuse. I'm gonna superfuse one of the elos. Preferably, I would have wanted to get him to level 80, but that's gonna take a lot of experience fodder that I do not have. 73 right now is the limit, and I've kind of hit the point in dungeon where I cannot push any further without getting my character stronger. And even though some of my other characters are superfused, this is the first superfusion I've done in alpha. And this also goes in hand on how it works. So this guy right here, we're gonna essentially sacrifice him, but we have to get him to max level. So with that being said, the character that's getting fused into does not need to be max level. So that is interesting to point out. Also, you get to choose different stats, but they all add 12%. Um, so this guy, his best stat is attack, but being super fused in Elo, that's not a smart move. Because Elo only does wisdom based damage at this point. Um, so we're gonna do 330, and we're gonna go through the animations and see what happens. Um, so it does claim that the super fusion will be lost, and I'm gonna use this fighter as a fodder. So once he gets fused in, that's it. I'm never gonna get him back. I'm never gonna see him again. I cannot pull him apart. I could replace him with another super fuse, but that's not likely. Um, so I'm gonna click OK, and then that's what it looks like. The better super fusions, the more stats it's gonna add. Um, so let's see. I went from 44,098 to that plus 330. Um, go ahead, take some quick notes and write it down on my notebook. Um, so let's see. His previous wisdom before superfusion was 7089. If you skip back to the previously before he was superfused, and now he went up to 7,647, which right off the bat I can tell it's at least 500 in difference. So this is actually really useful information. Superfuses do stack with the edge bonuses, so in the future, um, that might make these weaker characters, these less desirable characters, probably more desirable for lower to mid tier and then maybe high tier players. Depending on superfusions, depending if it's worth it or not. This character is worth 3 nugs, 4 nugs at the most. The character I used to superfuse it, I bought it for 3 nugs on the open market. Um, it is kind of a hassle to jump through those kind of hoops, but I feel like it could incentivize people to level up. Just random fodder and to get more stuff in the market moving. To make to expand the market and make it more viable. So I wanted to show the quick math real quick. The 7646 is the current wisdom. 7086 was the previous wisdom before superfusion, staying at the same level. The difference is 560 from 330. So the math looks weird on it. Um, the math looks weird on it, but if you multiply the 330 times 170, it adds up to 560. Well, 561. But 560 is the number that the game got. The math is pretty similar. Excuse me. Um, but that's what it equates to. So now, this also helps with the formula of the game. How much XP you're also getting, and then what's it called? I also have an item gear. Give him a book that gives him 200 wisdom, and then Illum, which raises his own wisdom, which is actually pretty bonkers because since the skill level on the book is adept, it will raise 30%. So let's put a what if scenario and put these numbers in the account real quick. All right, so this is a formula on how they would stack up theoretically, and I'll go into a video, and then hopefully, the book will proc on one of the guys, but the adapt mechanic will add 30%. So on, for example, on that elo, he'll go from 7,847. If you procs on him once, then he'll go up to 10,021 wisdom. I mean, not 21, 201 wisdom, which is ridiculous high. That I think that's pretty close to like mid tier to high tier legends. So I wanted to find a quick example. Zulekia is one of the top tier legends. Her wisdom is, well, this one is super fused, probably with wisdom. But 1500 is probably a safe number, a high safe number, high end safe number to pick. Um, to compare wisdom stats to Elo, if he gets procced, that's pretty high considering that the character is cheap. That I've invested 6 nucks on him for the duration of this event. I have a really, really strong character for now, not including the rest of my band. I do need to level up some of my other characters. They are a little bit weaker. I'm probably a little ill prepared for this event, because I'm also have like a month playing the game. But I've delved into the mechanics, and I've just enjoyed playing the game. So we can try and do a little bit of gameplay, see what happens. I'm gonna try and see if I can get these guys to proc their book. Um, I didn't see who he buffed. I think he probably buffed Uruk. So that's kind of not what I wanted to see. Okay, she buffed herself. Um, but I would have preferred for her to buff Elo. Okay, so we didn't get to see it this time around. But if you pause it real quick, and well, if you were to pause it, just a few seconds ago and check your stats, you multiply that. Well, you put in 4935 on the calculator plus 4935 times 0.3, which is 30%, and it'll give you her wisdom. So I'm gonna carry on. Ooh, nice. In my missions, I'll just do some of these guys since I recovered my battle points. And let's see if I get lucky and we get this on video. Alright, so that Elo did proc himself with the book, and you guys saw that the wisdom went pretty high up. We can do the math. Oh, he boosted himself again. See, so he boosted himself to almost 1200 wisdom, which is really, really high. We just saw it compared to Zuleika, which is 1400. The books on gurus, I want to say they're a must-have. They add a little bit of wisdom, but their proc rate is 20. So once out of every 5 times per character, they have a chance to, excuse me, to proc and raise your wisdom. You go on the Texel exchange. If you have enough Texel, you can buy the books. Let's see. Oh, well, I'll just buy one just for the fun of it and for the video. And just like anything else in the game, you can fuse things to other things. So we're gonna fuse one more book onto him. I prefer every character to have at least one piece of item. And it added 80 wisdom. The next book I get is gonna add 80 wisdom, and they'll add the proc rate up to 25%. So I know I said I like to keep my characters equipped with items, but for the video, I'll just show it. See, it did raise 80 more wisdom, and now their proc rate is 30%, which is really good. Um, and then I think, let me see. All right. So I went to the wiki. I typed in gear. I scrolled down, and this is the gear that you can buy. The book, at the end of the day, at fully level, once you get 6 of them in total and fuse them at a 5 out of 5, uh, the Illume will raise to 40%, which is actually really, really high. And the max stats it'll add is 500 wisdom. So by adding 500 wisdom, it's almost like a mini super fusion that you can move and re-equip to other characters as you see fit, which is actually kind of nice because actual super fusions with this little star, once they're there, they're there. Um, you can upgrade them um, to better stats, but you can only have up to 3. So this is kind of like a special fourth little star, you can say. So I know this is kind of a lengthy video, but hopefully everybody understood, got the message, or could try to understand and figure out how kind of important boosting stats are, how super fusion works, how edge bonus works, and then hopefully this will help you out on your journey of becoming a better defenders of Texel player, or you just have fun. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.